All right, look, I'm gonna finish this. I got one more thing to show you. Take your notebook out. Put your iPads aside, you don't need them right now. Now, look, because tomorrow's just a big recap day. See all them papers I gave you back? With all those conditional problems? I'm not gonna take any questions on that right now, but before you come in here tomorrow, all of those are posted in e-backpack for you to check. All the answers to all those papers I gave you back, there were 3 of them, 3 pieces of paper. They're all in e-backpack. Tomorrow, I'm gonna recap, review, and tell you how the test is set up. Got one more thing to show you. So, first, now I just came around and gave you a piece of paper. All right, just have that out, but have your notebook out too. Put these 2 problems right here next to each other in your notebook, A and B, right here. It's on the board. Today is Tuesday, May 9th. Fellas, in your notebook, put this A and B problem next to each other in your notebook. Let me do this first. A and B. Trust me, you're gonna kind of finishing what I did yesterday, and then I have one more thing to show you. And then that'll be it as far as what's on the test. Put these 2 next to each other. Now, you all turned this in to me already. Most of you got it done in class. These are the ones where you had to change them to standard form and then give the type, where's it open, and what's H, K, and P. So based on what I did yesterday, what did I tell you was the first thing you had to do in these? Now, you guys already turned this in to me yesterday, these kind, but something's gonna happen here. What was like the first step right here? What was the first thing you had to do? You all turned this in to me yesterday already. What was the first step in these, Max?
Well, wouldn't it be to get a 0, so bring the x over?
To get a 0? No, it's not to get a 0. What was the first thing I did in all those examples? You already turned this paper into me. What did you have to do with your variables? You did it.
Yeah, you get the x on one side and the y.
Separate them.
Yes.
Well, you said get a 0. We're not getting a 0. We're separating them. And the squared one's always got to be positive. So the minus 5 is going to slide over here, right? So this is going to be x minus 5 equals this. Now, boys, watch this. Relax. I got it. There we go. Now, what do you do next? Remember on the squared side, I did that completing the square? Can't do it yet. Why? And you forgot completing the square already? I told you the rest of the year that completing the square would be around. You know how we take half the coefficient and square it? Not ready to do that yet. I gotta take care of something else first. Staring you in the face up here. Nathan.
Or we're gonna just divide both sides by 3.
And you gotta get that squared coefficient to be a 1. So everything gets divided by 3. Fellas, you gotta pay attention here. You're gonna see something on the test very similar to this. I want one of you to tell me what to write down if you divide everything in that equation by a 3. And you're gonna get some fractions. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. It's not a hard step, is it? Robbie.
1/3 x plus 5/3 equals
Pay attention, everyone. Equals, Rob?
y squared minus 2y.
You all see that? Now, I gotta do the completing the square. Now you take the half. So what am I gonna add to both sides? You see on the squared side, now I gotta do the completing the square. What number am I gonna add there? Come on, fellas, we just did this yesterday. You gotta do the completing the square here. You gotta get this to be a quantity square, that completing the square method. Jack, you gotta add a 1 here. Well, look, that means you gotta add a 1 over here too, right? Balance the equation. Okay, now you see this side here? Do y'all see that? Isn't that what that goes to now? Now, give me your attention here. What's 1 plus 5/3? I mean, add the numbers together. What's 1 plus 5/3, Howard?
8/3.
8/3. Now, remember what standard form is. How do you know if a problem's in standard form? You got a binomial squared on one side, and what has to be on the other side? A binomial not squared with a number in front of it. Now watch this. See that 1/3 that's in front of x? What did I tell you to do on the side not squared? Please don't let the fraction bother you. What did I show you in them problems yesterday? This is the side where the variable's not squared. What did I tell you to do to whatever that number was? I don't care what it was. What did I tell you to do? Just forget stuff so fast. What did I tell you to do on the side not squared? See that 1/3? You have to, Rob,
Pull it out.
pull it out. You got to get it out of there. Watch this. You got to factor it out, whatever it is. So here's the question. 1/3 times what would give you that? You're just taking a GCF out. You're making it work. 1/3 times, well, what would have to be the first part there? Guys are going brain dead on me. Come on. We're just taking the 1/3 out. We're just factoring out like a common factor. 1/3 times what would give you that? Quentin?
X plus 8.
X plus 1/3 times 8 would make 8/3. Do you all see that? Look at this. Is that in standard form? It is now. Now, remember what I said I was going to do in a test? I'll have all the blanks written down. What's the type? You're golden now. I mean, if you do this correctly, filling in the blanks is going to be the easy part. What's the type? Jack.
X.
That's a variable not squared. What's h and k? Those are right in the equation. Remember, h is always with x, k is always with y. David, what's h?
-8.
What's k?
1.
Now, look. That number in front of the variable not squared, that's what 4p represents, right, in the standard form? So if 4p equals 1/3, be careful here, solve this little equation for p. If 4p equals 1/3, which it does, what's p? Oh boy, that's freshman algebra there. If 4p equals 1/3, what's p? It's just a simple equation. John,
1/12.
do you guys all understand how we got that? I mean, he divided by 4, but dividing by 4, doesn't that mean to times by the reciprocal? Isn't p 1/12? So where's it open? Remember, it was the next type, so we can only go right or left. So where's Noah?
Right.
And how do you know it went right, Noah?
P positive.
P is positive. Now, I guarantee you on this test later this week, you're going to see a problem very similar to this, you know, where you got to take a fraction out. That's why I'm showing you this one. Do you have a question there? Look at the B problem. Now, I would think you're going to tell me to do something like immediately because of what you see. Aren't you? I hope. Honors class? What's wrong with that next one? I mean, take care of business.
The squared number is negative, you have to move it over to the other side.
And what else is wrong? He said the squared thing is negative. You're right, but there's something else drastically wrong with that equation. You don't want that. What are you automatically going to do when you have an equation like that?
Get rid of the fraction.
Sure, wipe the fractions out, right? So let's kill two birds with one stone. Did you hear what Dumas said? He said we got to get the squared one positive. What could I multiply everything in that equation by? And not only would it wipe out the fractions, but it would make the squared one positive too. Let's just do it all in one step. Mike,
-2.
do you understand if I times everything by -2, that'll take care of all that? So somebody, tell me what to write down if you times everything by a -2. That's easy. Just somebody tell me what the next line is. Multiply by -2, times by -2, times by -2, times by -2, all the way across. What do you got? What do you got? Times by, Jimmy, times by -2,
Negative 2y
right?
equals x squared
Positive x squared,
minus 8x
right?
plus 18.
There you go. Okay, now it's the same as yesterday. So let's leave this stuff where it's at. 18, slide it over here. So -2y minus 18. Okay, now do your completing the square. Joe, you need to get this right here. And then I'm on this one here in your notebook. What's the number gonna be that you add here? Now we gotta do that completing the square here. What's the number you're gonna be? Do your half and square it. What are you gonna add there? Max?
16.
Half of 8 is 4, squared is 16, so I gotta add 16 over here. So look, here's this, right? There's that part. And here I got -2y, 16 minus 18 is -2. Okay, you only have one more step and then you got standard form here. What did I tell you to do on the side that's not squared? I don't care what it is. I did it yesterday, I just did it again there. What are you gonna do on the side not squared? David,
Pull out -2.
get it out. Whatever it is, pull it out. It's a -2, factor out a -2. So what's that gonna leave you with in there? -2 times what would give you that? Chris?
Y plus 1.
Y plus 1. There's your standard form. So on a test, you're just gonna fill in all the blanks. What's the type? Y. What's H and K? Dave?
4, -1.
H is 4, K is -1. Now look, remember that number in front is 4p. So if 4p equals -2, what's p? 4p is -2, what's p? Rob? -1/2, so where's it open?
Down.
Down. Okay, that finishes that. I'm only gonna give you 3 more problems like that. They're over there on the board. You could get a picture of that later. All right, everybody, this is the last thing for me to show you. Look at the paper that I came around and gave you. Now keep your notebook out. I want you to look at the directions first. Look at the handout I came around and gave you. And there's only 6 problems on there, on the front and the back. It says, given the following information, find the 4 parts of each parabola. And that's how you'll see it on a test. So, in your notebook, right now, you gotta go to your notebook for this. Put C and D next to each other. Space them out, but put them next to each other, everyone. Put C and D, look what I have up here. This is gonna be the last part of the test. Put C and D next to each other. Joe Campbell, you make sure you get these 2 things right here. Put C and D next to each other. This ain't that bad either. Andrew, you need to get these 2 examples that I just did in your notebook, okay? And then I'm gonna show. Ethan, did I give him one of these handouts?
Yeah.
Joe, do you have this handout? Did I have one there for you? Okay. Okay, now watch this. This is everything I've taught you now about a parabola. Isn't this all, if you know all this, now think about it. You see what I'm giving you here? That was your answers to these, wasn't it? Now I'm giving you this. And on a test, I'm going to say, okay, find the vertex, find the focus, find the axis of symmetry, find the directrix. And I'll have all those blanks on the test, just like you see on the worksheet there. This is all you have to do. And you don't have to make it big. Draw a little graph. Now watch this, people. 'Cause the first thing I'm going to say to you is this. You don't have to show me the whole graph. I don't even need to see the parabola drawn. Watch this. Which one of these four, vertex, focus, axis, which one of these four comes directly from what's given? I mean, that's easy, because it's there. Which one of these four parts would you know directly from what I'm giving you there? Jack? HK, right? So the vertex would be 1, negative 2. Okay? You all got that, right? That's H and K. So come over here in your little graph and put that down. Mark that with a V. Watch this. Watch what I'm going to do here. You know this is a Y parabola, and it goes down. Now just watch me up here. You all know it's doing this. Are you with me? You don't have to draw this in, but you know it's doing this. Isn't P the distance from the vertex to the focus? Right? So if P is negative 2, if P is negative 2, remember focus has to be on the inside, right? If P is negative 2, wouldn't that mean you got to go 2 units down to get the focus? Do you all see this? If P is negative 2, isn't the focus going to be 2 units below the vertex because it goes down? Look, put that in there. Now, ask me a question right now if you have one. Do you all see how I got the focus? P is negative 2. Let's go to the vertex and go, just like it says. Go down 2. Okay, what is that? You would just fill this in on your test. What's the focus? Just give me the coordinates. Mike?
1, negative 4.
1, negative 4. Alex, as long as you're back there, close that door. Okay, watch this. Watch how all the answers just kind of flow. Where's the axis of symmetry have to be there? See, you already know this stuff from last week. Look, remember, where's the axis of symmetry always go? Look, there's the vertex of the focus. Where's the axis of symmetry? Quinn?
We're gonna go right there both ways.
Right here, right? Everybody, right? So on your paper when you take the test, see, I'll have all these blanks here. What is it? It's a vertical line. You've already done this. What's the axis of symmetry? What are you putting there? Chris? X equals a number, right? It goes x equals 1. Now, if the axis of symmetry is x equals a number, won't the directrix have to be y equals a number because they're always perpendicular? Y equals, now come on. See how smart you are here. That midpoint rule, doesn't the vertex have to be right between the focus and the directrix? So, guys, where's the directrix up here? Technically. Remember, the vertex always splits the focus and the directrix. So where is the directrix there? Max,
Y equals 0.
did you hear that? It's right here, isn't it? 2 units here, horizontal. Now look, because I know you're going to have a question. You're going to say, do we have to find the 2 points and graph it? No. Problem's done. Problem's done. I'm giving you this, and you're just finding the 4 parts. How are you finding the 4 parts? By just making a little graph and just putting up what you know. You don't have to finish it. You don't have to get no equation. You don't have to find no 2 points. Just given this, find the 4 parts. So, in your notebook, go to the second one. Draw a little graph. You don't have to make your graph real big. Vertex, focus, axis, directrix. Boom, 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 and boom. What's the first thing you know right away? We're almost done here. What's the first thing you know right away? Howard.
The vertex.
What is it?
3, negative 5.
Okay, so you can fill that in. And then you plot it. Come over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the vertex. Now, look, pay attention here. It says opens right. So look up here. Look, you all know it's doing this, right? You don't have to draw it, but you all know it's doing this. So where's the focus gonna be? How you gonna move to get the focus? Tells you right there. How you gonna move to get the focus? Nathan?
4, -5.
No, tell me how you're getting
Right,
there.
I'll move to the right.
You're gonna move to the right,
1.
whatever P is. Are you with me? You're moving to the right, whatever P is. So look, I'm gonna go 1 unit to the right, and I'm gonna put a point. There's the focus, and what did you say those coordinates were?
4, -5.
Or -5. Fill it in. Where's the axis of symmetry? You see how everything flows? One answer gives you another one right away. Where's the axis of symmetry? It always connects, Jack.
Y = -5.
Right there. That's a horizontal line. That's y equals -5. So the directrix is going to have to be x equals something. And now how do you know? Vertex splits the focus and the directrix. So where's the directrix? It's going to be 1 unit to the Nathan.
Left.
There's P going this way. So P going this way, it's going to be right there. And what is that? X equal, what's it going through? 2. You're done. You see what I'm doing here? You don't have to draw it. You don't have to find 2 points. You don't have to find the equation. Look on the paper that's in front of you. Given the following information, find the 4 parts. How are you finding the 4 parts? By drawing just a little graph and putting the stuff on there. Then one answer leads to the other. Now, who has a question? Yes? Yes. Now, I just want to show you this last one here. Only because there's a fraction here. I don't want you to screw it up if you have a fraction. What's the vertex here? Problem E. What's the vertex in problem E? What's the vertex? Jake?
0, -3.
0, -3. Now, I want to make this a little bit bigger here. There's the vertex. Okay, how am I going to get the focus? How am I going to measure? You got to be careful here, you guys. How am I going to move to get the focus? Look. How am I going to move? How am I going to move? Adam.
Up 1/2 unit.
Up 1/2 unit. Watch this. P's a half. It says up. Here's V. Go up 1/2 unit. There's F. Now you got to tell me what the coordinates are. Now you're going to have a fraction in this ordered pair. What's the coordinates of that point right there? Just give me the ordered pair. All I did is I went up 1/2 unit. Alex?
0,
0, 5/2 is up there.
5. Oh, -5.
0, -2.5, which is -5/2. 0, -5/2. What's the axis of symmetry? Right there in front of you, just here. What's going in the blank? There ain't no work to show. What's the axis of symmetry?
X = 0.
X equals 0. It's the y-axis. And, watch this. Where's the directrix going to be? Now just look here. Look here. If 1/2 unit was doing this, 1/2 unit up was a focus, so isn't the directrix got to be 1/2 unit the other way? Look. Like this. Y equals, now what number is that? That's 1/2 unit. -1, -2, -3, -4. What is that? Y equal what number? It's going to be a fraction. Rob? -3.5. Now don't use mixed fractions. That's -7/2. Now these aren't that bad, right? You don't have to draw me a full graph. So look at the handout there. Here's your homework. 1 to 6.